Star 1013.
Like, how many people hit you up for tickets? How many people actually get to go? How many people that you don't know hit you up for tickets?
Yeah. Well, it's good in America because I'm from Australia. I've got a big backlog building up for when we go to Australia in like 2 months.
Oh.
And so there's people like hitting me up, in advance, like from the start of the year.
You've got pre-orders.
But yeah, exactly. I've got pre-orders. I've got people I went to like first year of high school with, like kind of being like, hey man, like what's up? I'm just wondering, like my second cousin. And it's kind of like, okay. But in America, it's good.
Because the more exposure you get, you probably have people who you don't remember at all. Just like Facebook, like when they contact you, you're like, okay, great, that was when I was in third grade. But do you have that experience where they're like telling you memories you don't remember?
Sometimes, and I think it's funny, I kind of feel like at a certain point, like I'm not famous like Taylor Swift or some of those massive artists, but I guess the bigger you get, the less opportunities you get to make a first impression. So in Australia, where like I kind of, maybe people know my face, it's like, oh, and I don't get to like be like, hey, I'm actually not that cool, like you don't have to be nice to me.
No, take it, you don't have to work at it now.
Yeah, exactly. It is a good thing. There's a bonus and there's negatives.
Can you still walk around Australia without being recognized?
I think the thing that works against me is my height and my curly hair.
Can we have him stand up for just 1 second? Not to put you on display here, but my man,
8 feet tall.
We put this in context. I guess
the reason
I'm 5'6".
Here, you stand up next to him, right?
Today, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Good God. I need to suck in just to feel not like this is what I always worry about this. Like when there's a really tall, slender man, I feel like it's gonna look like a 10, and I'm like the zero, the big. I don't want to be the big. I don't want to be the zero.
Here's me.
I don't want to be a little thin one either. I want to be.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that as a thin little one.
I'll take slender.
So that's why we're having him sit down. Otherwise, I'm going to be completely emasculated because if he stood over here, I'm going to look like your son, basically, how it's going to go. But I always wonder about Australia because it's on my hit list to go to. Is it really as dangerous as they say? Do you take your own life in your hands when you go to the beach?
Look,
what is dangerous?
It's possible you do. If you don't know how to swim, and we do have a show, it's a funny show called Bondi Rescue, which is set in Bondi Beach in Sydney, which is a beautiful, popular beach in Sydney, which has like surf and rips, and you can get pulled out to sea. Sure. But it's a show that kind of, basically the only people on that show are like tourists who go swimming that don't know how to swim, and then the Australian lifeguards save them. And we kind of like to film people nearly dying and then getting rescued.
Oh my God, that's very American of them.
It really is.
It is. We're following.
Like, hey, let's have them die and then tweet it.
But what about like the animals and stuff? Have you ever been stung by a jellyfish or eaten by a shark? Or, well, I guess you would be bitten, not eaten
by a shark. I have.
Shark.
What's the worst thing that happened? Really, we have a lot of. I guess we have spiders, and we have big spiders called huntsmen, which sounds like hardcore, right? A huntsman spider, and they'll be about maybe this big, like on the wall, but they don't have venom, so it's more scary. And I think people who come to Australia and like you're sitting on the toilet and there's a huntsman kind of.
Oh my God, I would die.
They hide around. Yeah, exactly. They hide around the bathroom. So sometimes you go to the bathroom and there'll be like a huntsman on the wall, or sometimes that's scary, but they're not going to hurt you. And kangaroos, honestly, if you leave Melbourne Airport and you drive out of the airport, if you look to the right, there's like paddocks on either side. Okay. I swear I've seen you can see like a whole flock of kangaroos just off to the side, which to me is crazy because people are like, oh, from Australia, kangaroos and stuff. And I'm like, actually, yes, like they are there, but no one will ever look that way. So if you ever go to Melbourne, just look to the side and you might see them.
That's where to catch them?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now we know.
Wow. That's amazing.
Did you ever see that video of the kangaroos that were like fighting like people online?
Yeah, kangaroos have been getting a bad rap for a little bit. For a little period of time, kangaroos were scary, and my A&R guy from Atlantic was sending me articles about kangaroos that are kind of lurking scarily in streets and stuff. But the only kangaroos I've ever encountered were like the most placid animals. So I don't know.
Not sure when we get these Fight Club kangaroos.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why they've got this reputation, but
they're getting a bad rap.
Is there illegal kangaroo like fighting? Like we have dog fights and rooster fights in the States.
You know what would happen?
Can you imagine?
Kangaroo fighting would be like, seriously, it would be like one standing on this side of the room and the other standing on this side of the room, and there'd be like complete silence, and they'd just be looking at each other like, and they have a pretty scary look, like a stare, like they've got very black eyes, but look, they've got I really don't think they've got much animosity unless you like try and steal their wallaby, their Joey. Sorry.
Typical Americans because we're asking you about kangaroos.
I know, this is turning
feel
into rude
kind of-
talk.
I
I'm
feel
so sorry.
embarrassed.
No, it's fine because you know what? I love
know
animals.
much.
So
We just want to know about your hometown.
Yeah.
By the way, what? So I still don't know what Vegemite is. I'm going on a cleanse next week. I'm going on. Tell me. I don't know what you eat, but I am going to for 10 days. No sugar, no like processed sugar, no dairy, no meat, no caffeine, no alcohol.
whoa, what's
I
left?
know, death, and hopefully I'll lose some weight. But do you ever are you a health guy or what do you eat?
I think I'm a health guy, but I've become particular because I'm always on the road, so you get time to refine what you eat. So every morning, but this isn't healthy. I'll eat like scrambled eggs. I like American breakfast, so like scrambled eggs, the bacon, which is super crispy, like Gilbert
French
Grape's
toast.
mum style. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta have some carbs.
Yeah, so I have full carb breakfast, but I just eat big breakfast and then I don't even know. Maybe I'm not healthy at all. I just eat like maybe too much sugar, but I don't overeat. But
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's free. This is the rock star life. Plus you get the nice hotel. This is my favorite moment ever. Nice hotel. You put the robe on. You have breakfast in bed. Boom.
Yeah.
Belgian waffle. Weather Channel. I don't know why I like watching the Weather Channel, but I do. And that's my happy space.
that sounds good. It's not actually that picturesque. You're describing a really nice morning, but my mornings, the hotels aren't always nice. And the breakfast in bed thing is like, yeah, it's a breakfast in bed, but it's like, it's like takeaway and it's like cold and dry and the eggs are like, are these real eggs or are they the eggs that came out of a packet? But yeah, it's
Are you the 2 in-the-afternoon morning guy or are you an early riser?
Well, I have to be kind of early on the road doing all the promotion and stuff.
Right.
But on the tour bus, I don't know if you guys have slept on a tour bus before.
Sandy probably has.
Oh, please. I wish I had. No, I've slept in my Honda. And I really do mean sleep. Usually at the gym. So what is that like?
Well, it's just like I guess like sleeping on a boat maybe back in the day where everyone's like like sleeping overnight. You're gently rocking and it's super dark. And so if you go to bed on a tour bus at like say midnight, you can wake up at like midday the next day and you can feel like it's just been like that because it's so dark and you're kind of getting
That's so
gently
weird.
vibrated. Yeah.
How many people are on the bus?
There's 12 people sleeping in this little space.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of
Is it
No
all
funny
dudes?
business. Does anybody bring like people on the bus?
like if
Friends?
you're going to bring someone on the bus into your little space, it's like I don't know. You got to be like.
You can't wine and dine a girl and say, "Hey, I'm bunk 4." So just
I'm bunk 4.
So if you're hanging out outside the tour bus, it really is not that sexy. It's not that sexy.
it looks
depends.
sexy though on the outside.
Yeah.
Do you like hang a tie or something on the door so nobody else, everybody
even
knows
think
not
You
to
don't
come
have
in?
a door. You have a little curtain over your.
Have a curtain.
It's like you're stacked up. It's like bed, and you have to climb. I'm on the top, so you have to climb up to the top. You have like a very small space. Like really, there's enough space for 2 people to
Is it
lie.
enough for you because you're so
to
tall?
spoon. You can spoon.
You can spoon. There you go, Marcus.
Thank you.
He likes to spoon.
Yeah. Big spoon, little spoon. And you can do that. And it's pretty like everyone's kind of like got their own little space. It's kind of like prison.
Right.
So you know
Prison on
you've made
wheels.
it when you get your own bus. Like 11 people are now on bus number 1 and Vance Joy gets bus number 2. Is that how that works?
Yeah, I think that you can have like a big, when you really make it, like Dolly Parton, she has her own bus line and she has the back room. So you have a front room, sleeping area and back room. And you can have like that back room can have like a double bed, king size bed. And some bands have that. And like the lead singer will have like
Nice.
the Shangri-La at the back.
Right. However, being on tour with Taylor Swift, not too shabby. Not too shabby.
No, for sure.
We've been giving away those tickets all week, and the phones don't stop. Like the fans are crazy. So for exposure, I'm sure it's like super awesome. What's she like? Do you guys text? Do you hang out?
She's lovely. Yeah, I've got to hang out with her a couple of times, and one of the shows, she had a great show. So when she has a really great stadium show, I think the energy is just so high. So everyone wants to hang out, and hung out one of the shows and played some covers of songs. And she has a lot of guests on stage. So there's kind of a lot of people that I get to meet. I got to meet the American soccer team that just won the World Championships because she got them on stage in New York.
She has everyone on stage. Like every concert.
The
it's like,
world is her posse.
Totally. Oh, the Victoria's Secret Angels just stopped by. Or who did she have? Nico and Vince the other day. She just loves to like help friends. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, totally. She's very generous, very authentic person, and I'm just totally like every time I see her, I just want to make sure that she knows how grateful I am to be able to open up for her.
That's going to be great because you're going to get exposed to a grip of people on this tour, obviously. And I have to mention this because my wife loves your music. The album is called Dream Your Life Away. Correct. Is that right?
Yeah.
So when Riptide, which we played on Star, comes up on the iHeart player, I have a 1-year-old daughter, and that's their song. So they dance around the room to Riptide, and they sing it, and then there's this. I wish I could show you a video, but I haven't. They're so fast about it, I can't catch them. So, man, the music is pretty amazing. Can I just ask you, how did they find you? Like, if I am, because I live in an area, I don't know if you're familiar with Maverick's Beach, but it's the biggest waves in the world. Obviously, Riptide, you probably surf on some level, yeah? So, biggest beach, biggest waves in the world. I live across the highway from there, and every single person in my neighborhood is either an artist or a singer-songwriter or has a guitar or is in a band, and they're all trying to get discovered. How do you do it? What's the move?
I think for me, I definitely sometimes I look back and think, wow, I've had some really great strikes of luck. Like, I wrote a few songs, and I think you need to write songs that are good and that you believe in, that you can deliver and sing with your full heart and your whole kind of all your conviction. But as well, it was a few lucky things. Like I put my song on SoundCloud, and about a week later, I got a call from a guy I went to school with, and he ended up setting up his own company and was managing bands, and he's like, I love this song, do you have any other songs, and what do you think about music, do you want to actually do it? And I said, yeah, I want to see I want to kind of maybe be a musician and be a singer-songwriter. And so he said, okay, well, I'll start helping you out. And that was the start of our relationship management. And
how old were you at that time?
This is like 3 years ago.
Because you're young now. You're 27?
27, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'd kind of, music was kind of like this idea, a vague idea to do it, but I didn't really know where to go next. And he helped me out. And then he sent the song, I think, out to a few different labels. They flew me over, like it was just like a couple of months later. And I was flown over to New York, and I played in the office of the CEO of Atlantic. And that was really scary. I played a few songs, and from there, it kind of just started rolling. I started playing more and more shows and getting more confident. And so that was my story of getting discovered. But I think it came down to having the right sound. And it's amazing that you're saying that your 1-year-old knows the song. I don't even know how that happens, that you can write something and then it resonate with a child at that level. It's like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I'm so amazed that actually came out of me for it to do that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Thank you. Speaking of playing for the CEO of Atlantic, is there a moment, because it has to have been a complete whirlwind ever since like Riptide took off, everybody seems to know your music, and now they're starting to know your name because you're opening for Taylor Swift. Has there been I don't even know how to put this, like a hell yeah, I made it kind of moment? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
totally.
a mind-blowing moment in the last 3 years.
Well, it's always a mind-blowing. There's always heaps of those. And, I mean, when Taylor Swift covered Riptide, she did it, and she did it at the BBC Lounge, and I was in Amsterdam, and my manager was watching the clip of it, and I could just hear it, and I was like, what's that? Like, sounds really good. Like, who's that? Who's covering my song? And she's like... And then she kind of held for a moment to build the suspense, and then she turned it around, and I saw Taylor Swift. So I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of days where I was kind of walking on air, like I was so happy. And then when I covered Taylor Swift's song, I covered a song of hers called I Know Places. And then after that, she said that it was her favorite cover of all the covers, so for another few days, I was also like... feeling so good. I was feeling so good.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah,
nice.
Which was the coolest thing. So there was that. I mean, last week I was playing in Seattle, and it started kind of lightly raining. And I was at the end of my set, and the crowd was really amazing. And there was like 60,000 people, and I was like, this is cool. Like, I don't always appreciate it, but for some reason, I think I had a moment of being like, hey, this is actually so cool. Like, this is crazy. I'm not taking it for granted in this moment. And it was good.
Fantastic. Vance Joy, man, if you're going to Levi Stadium to check out Taylor Swift, make sure you get there early. Watch my man crush it. Very exciting. You got anything else? Did you want to ask him about his hair products?
Oh, yeah.
I know you've been staring.
You have fun hair. It's naturally curly. You were saying earlier you straightened it and it wasn't a good idea. What happened?
Well, You know, I straightened it in my final year of high school, and I went to the dance, and I thought it looked amazing, but it just like gets really like frizzy and like kind of like crazy. And yesterday, actually, I went for a bike ride on the Golden Gate Bridge, and I just kind of didn't put any product in it, and I looked at myself and I go, I don't look like myself. Like I look like Kramer, but like his hair like being brushed out into this fro. It was really horrible. But I mean, I hope no one really recognized me.
No, you're a guy. You can get away with it.
Yeah.
If you're a good-looking guy, you can not even take a bath, and women don't care.
Yeah, thank you.
To an extent.
To a degree.
What's my look that I like?
Oh, hot or homeless?
That's what we call them. And we just never know. It keeps me guessing, and I like that. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. We're super excited for you and everything you're doing, and congratulations on being on the tour. And we are excited for your next show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.